Recording in progress.
Hello, my name is Greg Pickett, and today we will be exploring social exchange theory through Futurama. Leela's choice between Fry and Zapp Brannigan, a deep dive into relational dynamics depicted in Futurama, focusing on Leela's romantic dilemma. So, the introduction to social exchange theory. This interpersonal theory states that human relationships are formed by the use of subjective cost benefit analysis and the comparison of alternatives. We stay in relationships where the rewards exceed the costs. And here, I have a couple pictures explaining that. So, why Leela, Zapp, and Fry? Well, throughout the whole series of Futurama, Leela is trying to find true love. Out of all of her prospective suitors, it is evident that Fry and Zapp are the only true contenders. Fry's and Zapp's stark differences make them perfect subjects to analyze through the lens of social exchange theory. So Leela is the captain of the Planet Express crew, and she's the one that is searching for love. Um, let's see, she's an independent, outspoken Cyclops that is searching for love in a large universe, considering they can fly through space and meet aliens and all kinds of different creatures. Fry and Zapp are her two biggest contenders. Fry, the romantic idealist. Fry represents a hopeless romantic idealist in Futurama. His innocence and unwavering affection for Leela highlight the emotional connections that form the foundation of deep relationships, demonstrating the importance of sincerity and vulnerability in love. Fry is not necessarily like the most bright person in the world, but he does show genuine love for Leela. Zapp is the charismatic commander. Zapp Brannigan is characterized by his overconfidence and flamboyant personality, using his charm to captivate those around him, particularly Leela, his obsession. He represents the temptation of superficial attraction that may overshadow deeper emotional connection. Very egotistical, and cares about himself more than anybody else. Will even, lie to get his way. So the pros of Fry. Fry has shown time and time again that his love for Leela is unconditional. Fry and Leela have a long-standing friendship. It has its ups and downs, but it lasts through the whole series. Fry and Leela have gotten through tough scenarios together as crew members, so they end up, going on missions through every episode, and in every episode tend to, resolve whatever conflict they go through at that time. In season 7, episode 26, they literally spend a lifetime together when time stops. But once Professor Farnsworth fixes time, that memory is erased, and they actually ask each other, would you like to go through this over again? But they completely forget that they've spent a lifetime together and grow old together. But that's what is in the picture to the right. And Fry loves Leela no matter how she looks. Also, as seen in the picture to the right, she's over here to the left. She's a little bit older, but to the right of Leela, over in this area, there's some tentacles. She actually turns into a tentacled monster. Fry's cons. Fry is not the brightest person in the crew. Fry can be selfish and typically always does what he wants. There are some moments where he does sacrifice for Leela, but he does tend to be stubborn and doing what he wants to do most of the time. Fry could be classified as a lazy slob sometimes. He's not necessarily the cleanest person in the world and tends to leave messes around. Um, and then technically, Fry is over 1,000 years old since he came from the year 1999, and then was frozen for 1,000 years. So he's technically older than his relative, Professor Farnsworth. So the pros for Zapp Brannigan. Zapp is a fellow spaceship captain, so he's used to leading a crew, and they relate on that level. Zapp is confident and tends to get what he wants. He's a smooth talker, and so he got his job as a captain. Tends to stand very high in his work with dupe. Zapp is obsessed with Leela, and has a very strong obsession for Leela through the whole series. Zapp makes a lot more money than Fry. I mean, even you can even just see from the picture on the right. He's a wealthy space captain compared to a delivery boy. Zapp is better looking, like technically, than Fry, because he takes care of himself a little bit better. Cons: Zapp is definitely a ladies' man and a flirt. Whenever he's around women, doesn't matter who it is, unless Leela's there, he tends to be flirting. Although Zapp loves Leela, he tends to think of himself more than anything else. Like he'll, if there's danger, he's even gone as far as to jump behind Leela. But I skipped one. Although Zapp loves Leela, he ends up almost marrying Leela's mom because her mom reminds him of Leela, and then they end up falling in love, which ends up very odd. Zapp treats his crew terribly and has terrible leadership skills. And also Zapp lies about his weight and wears a girdle. And so how trustworthy is he really if, he lies about something as simple as his weight? So the outcome: although Zapp puts up a tougher fight than expected, Fry is a clear winner when it comes to the benefits he offers Leela in the matter of love. The literal number of pros Fry has outweighs Zapp's, but each positive aspect of Fry's relationship with Leela also carries much more weight than Zapp's. The same can be said for Zapp's cons. His cons are especially bad, even if there aren't a whole. I mean, they seem somewhat equal in cons. They definitely carry much more weight. And so this leads to Fry ending up being who Leela ends up with. And let's see. And so that is my presentation. Excuse my ignorance on how to use Prezi. But that is my presentation on Futurama and how it relates to social exchange theory. All right, thank you.